Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. This time we're taking a look at the 1998 Nissan Primera GT. This is a car that I didn't realise was special in any way. For you see, in the PAL regions of Gran Turismo 2, the Nissan Primera is this model, the GT, but in all other regions it's the 2-litre TEV, which is based on the Japanese Primera. This one actually has a very slightly different model. They've changed the rear lights and I think the front bumper as well to make it look like the UK spec Primera GT, which is cool. Unfortunately, they didn't add the UK spec Primera GT colours because I'm fairly certain these came in a very strange, like TVR style colour. Which this one doesn't, unfortunately, so I've had to go for this burgundy colour, which is still quite nice. Front engine, front wheel drive, 296 horsepower, 1,139 kilos. Those are pretty standard for a four-door saloon car, so let's find out how it gets along. It sounds like a Toyota GT1 for some reason. Anyways, this car is going to have 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Toyota Celica Rally Car, which at a time of 27.552, this car unlikely to beat that. Primeras, we have had the 95 go around an age ago, which I'm just trying to look on the leaderboard to find it. It's in the mass. There you go, 31.245 is the time that the 2-litre TE got. So this one looking to probably match it, if I'm being honest. I think the 95, well, they had race mod to boom, and it also had some more power, which would help it. So yeah, this is sort of gonna, in theory, end up in the gaggle of front-wheel drive saloon cars that all sit around the 31s, but we will see. In case you're wondering, despite this being unique, technically, the racing modification is identical to that on the TEV, and even though they are technically supposed to be identical, I'm fairly certain I tried to build them up in GT2 Plus, and the TEV made more power for some reason. So that will be the one that runs the BTCC style racing modification, as opposed to the actual UK spec car, which sounds weird, but it isn't. So yeah, that's why this is being ran the way it is. It's a shame too, because that other Primera I can actually pick the colour, so I can have a purple Primera, but alas, it didn't really work out, so I had to do the Japanese national race, which is how you win this in GT2 Plus, over and over and over and over again until I got a colour of Primera that I was happy with. So this drives like a front-wheel drive four-door saloon car. There is no real surprises here. Maybe feels a bit on the heavy side. The power's okay. In an ideal world, I'd like a turbocharger, but you know, Nissan made both, you know, good turbo motors and high revving naturally aspirated engines. And in the case of the Primera GT, which to be fair, base, I think this thing would have had like 140 horsepower. Yeah. Well, there's obviously here it has 296. It's gone quicker than the 95 Primera, which isn't bad. It's actually gone basically what you'd sort of expect it to. So no qualms on the lap times though. It's a pretty, well, by the standards of this leaderboard, that is a very average time for a pretty average car, in all honesty. The backstory behind the difference between the GT and the TEV is probably more interesting than the actual car itself, but you know, it's cool. It looks good. I like the Primera a lot, actually. Well, at least this generation. The one after this was horrendous, but yeah, not bad. 31.109 will place this into 148th place. It goes between a Honda Accord and a Nissan Skyline Type S R33, so it's quicker than that. As I mentioned, you won't be able to see it because there's a lot of cars in this section of the leaderboard, but it is quicker than the 95 Primera. It's quicker than the Alpha 166 V6 Sportronic. It's quicker than Dodge Stratus, quicker than the Vauxhall Vectra 2 litre. So, yeah, quicker than a Golf GTI. There's a couple of saloon cars that have gone quicker than this, like the V6 Vectra is insanely quick for some reason. But in terms of, yeah, like just sort of standard normal car, there's not a lot to write home about with this statistically. It's done pretty well, really. So good on you, Primera. Nice to see a bit of an oddity on the course. Anyways, that is it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when I'll be driving something completely different. So until then, farewell.